Okay, I want to come up here and say something about this bagel shop incident with Chris Morgan. Yeah. So the short man, Chris Morgan, is taking a payoff, has he? That's right. He's been given a bunch of money by some creep to be an actor. That's right. And to come up on the public view and be pushed all over the place to go viral as the short man who is irate over the way he's treated by women for being short. Okay, that's really what this is about. This is all an act. No, the incident in the bagel shop was staged. It was deliberately done. It was an act. Yep, it sure was. You even got one of him standing in a bar in the club somewhere, and then they went to him outside the bar. Then they went to him having a confrontation over a woman with a black man. That's right. And I was looking into this pretty good yesterday, and we got Inside Edition has grabbed this. Media controlled CNN, run by the military industrial complex, which is all your major media forms are run by the military industrial complex. They're all owned by the same entity. Yep. See, this little man just didn't make it up on the Inside Edition and NBC and Fox and, yep, on the mainstream media. And his YouTube channel, I haven't even looked at that yet. I even wasn't looking for it. I didn't need to. I watched enough to know what I was seeing. What I was seeing was complete hogwash. BS. This is an act. Unfortunately, you got the agent Monday, Forever Alone Monday, who comes up and plays along with the narrative. What do you expect an agent to do? Of course, he's going to play along with the narrative that this is real and this is really happening. Yeah, it's a real act. Yeah, short man Chris was paid lots of money from somebody that he's not going to tell you about. Yep, he acted belligerent and mad. Yep, he got up there in people's face in a bagel shop. That's right. Well, of course he did. You know, what you people would do for your God money in today's society. You'll do anything for that God you worship, money. The tool, including this hogwash, this BS. Yeah, see, let's get real now. You can say, well, how do I know it's an act? For those who cannot see through this to understand this is bullshit, okay? There's no helping you. When you are that stupid, I can't fix stupid. I really can't. I'm sorry. There's no helping you. You're that gullible. What can I say? My brother, I don't even like to call him my brother, but he was my brother, okay? He was about as short as Chris, 5 foot. He sure was. And when he was younger, they had a song out called The Short Man, the Short Guy, and it was insulting and putting down short people. He used to be so mad about that song. Okay, yeah. See, my ma was only like 4'6". Yeah. My dad was only like 5'3", 5'2". Yeah, I came from short parents. I'm only 5'6.5". I was the tall one in my family. Yeah. See, I grew up with a family that was not tall. And I'll tell you this right now. In the real world, in a bagel shop, in the real world, okay, their customers is how they keep their business. In the real world, females are turning down short guys for the majority. That is true. We all know this. Look at Gary Coleman. There was your perfect example of a short man who had fame as a kid, that didn't get fame as an adult, and was pushed out of her life by the female gender. Once again, though, but due to what? Social engineering. I remember him being up on a news report, Gary Coleman, when the reporter asked him how it felt to be a 40-year-old virgin. And they were shaming him. They were using shaming tactics against Gary Coleman for something he had no say-so in, no control over. You know, this is how wicked and evil our society is. A person doesn't choose who their parents is. No, they don't sign that contract before they're born. They don't choose their parents. They don't choose their height. And they don't choose their looks or their race. They have no say-so in any of this stuff whatsoever. But thanks to social engineering and many decades, many decades of programming you people in baby steps, that's how social engineering works. We brainwash an entire society. We change your perception, your belief system, to what we want it to be. We create the problems that you have. Then we give you the phony solution to the problem we created. We, your owners, you know, your controllers. Isn't that right? Slaves. You are all slaves because you've allowed yourself to become slaves. And a lot of you are so happy, you're happy to go slaves. You don't mind bending over at all. And you're so gullible that you fall for crap like this so easy. Because you like being hand-fed your knowledge, which is zero knowledge. You know how much knowledge you get from the time you're in kindergarten to the time you get out of 12th grade? It'll fit in your fingernail on your pinky. You know how much knowledge you'll probably most people get in their entire lifetime? It'll fit in the fingertip of your pinky. Nope, that's not pushed down in a zip file neither. Don't need one. You ain't got enough information for that. Because information is knowledge. Real knowledge has been suppressed. It's being held from you. It's been kept from you forever and ever and ever and ever and ever. Real knowledge is what the powers to be are keeping away from you. And they're using real knowledge against you, the people. And I don't care if you get mad at me for saying that or not. It's the fact. It's not BS. It's not a conspiracy theory. It's fact. Now, see, Chris Morgan, the little short 5-foot actor, that's all he was. Not the short guys don't get the raw end of the deal in a society that's based on looks, money, status. Yeah. That's what our whole society's structured on, right? Thanks to social engineering. And thanks to social engineering, women have been placed where? By men. Where have they been placed? Way above a man. On a pedestal. And women know they have, but they'll deny it firmly all day long. For fear of losing something no human being should ever have over another human being. Power. And be thanks to all you simps and vaginas. That's what I like to call you. I wished I was a man who won't stand up to a woman, who won't stand up for yourself whatsoever against your opposite gender. Oh, but you'll stand up to the man, right? Because you say that's what makes you a man. No, you was never a man to begin with. You gave that up years ago. You gave it up years ago when you started placing a female above yourself. You became an angina, a pussy, a simp, a weakling, a nobody, not even a human. Now you'll say, why am I saying that? Because I'm a woman hater? No, I'm not a woman hater at all. Never have been. I'm a corruption hater. I recognize everybody for what they really are. Human beings. People. Individuality. We don't all think the same. We don't all feel the same. No. What I may agree with, you may disagree with. What I may like, you may not like. What you may like, I may not like. This is just normal. It's a part of life. It's a fact. Okay? You can't get around. Looks is a cover. Yeah. That's all it is. It's like the cover on a book. It says nothing about the person whatsoever. It doesn't say what knowledge they possess, even though the knowledge is in their pinky fingernail. And by the time they're at the end of their life, it'll be just the tip of their pinky. Because the majority of you won't educate yourself beyond what your school system taught you. Some of you will go dumb yourself up. Nowadays, we have more women dumbing themselves up than men. Yep, you went to university or college. That's right. You might have got yourself a piece of paper that says you have a bachelor's degree. You have a master's. That's right. You may have got your piece of paper that says you're certified. You're a certified idiot. I'm sorry, but you are. You're a certified idiot. Now you've been dumbed up. Yep. So for you people, you're still, all that information fits in the tip of your pinky. Because you're not allowed to know the rest of the information. Matter of fact, there's so much information you would never learn in your lifetime anyhow. But for the people who possess that information, they love it. Because they're so much more skilled and intelligent. And, they're psychopaths, they're sick, they're parasites. They really are. But this is how much information has been kept away from the people deliberately. And because of this, it's caused you to become docile, dumb. And the further we've gone between our GMO foods, our cancer-creating eugenic society, where we praise and worship killing other people, where we praise and worship foul behavior onto one another. See, this Chris Morgan, the one thing he has right is a man of 5 foot tall or 4 foot tall, their life is destroyed in a world that we have now. Because, see, everybody's selfish. It's the new thing that's been going on for decades now. To be all about number one. And who is number one? Yourself. And so since you're going to be all about number one, yourself, then you don't have care. See, that's one of the big problems we have in our world, is you've lost your ability to care. That's right. And so you've become scum. You've become the real parasite, the real loser. Not the one I know you're hurling the insults calling other losers, when in reality you're the loser. It's like the coffee pot cutting down the kettle for being black when the coffee pot's the one bleeding the black into it. And I see this everywhere. Everywhere. It's a big epidemic of stupid and dumb. Now, Chris is right. Gary Coleman was proof of that. He went most of his life alone, being rejected. Then when he did finally get a woman in his life, it was only because she was after his status, his fame, that he had as a child, and he had money. So she used him. And that's promoted in our society. That's supposed to be a norm. Yeah, promoted, supposed to be a norm. Nothing wrong with, yeah. Like what I showed you in the clip I put in yesterday's video. Promoted, there was nothing wrong with it. That's the norm. So she was only getting ready to divorce him, to take everything he owned away from him. He worked 40 fucking years of hard freaking labor and sweat and breaking his ass to build a home, to build everything up that he's got for him and his wife in their life. And then, okay, I'm done using you now. They crumble you up. This is what the woman does. Throw the upper wood and steal everything from him. Up, that's normal. That's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. So what if this man broke his butt for 40 years and I cleaned him out, left him homeless, and left him broke? That's right, and stole it all from him. There's nothing wrong with that behavior, right? And our society pushes this as norm and sticks up for that doings and calls the victim the perpetrator. Flips the truth upside down on its head. Everything is upside down. See, in real life, women, most women in real life won't give that Chris Morgan the time of day. No, he'll be rejected in 1 to 3 seconds. Maybe even in 2 seconds. Bam, as fast as she can say no. And it won't be one woman. It'll be woman after woman after woman after woman after woman after woman. And then every one of them will say, oh, there's lots of fish in the sea. And as soon as you've went through the entire sea and every fish in the sea has pretty much rejected them, because where they live, they've been rejected by pretty much everybody around them. They can move to another town, another state. Same thing. Move to another town, another state. Same thing. Year after year goes by, being shoved off the ladder, shoved off the ladder, shoved off the ladder. Oh, but it's his fault. Yep. After all, it is his fault that he's only 5 foot. Because he knows that he should have been taller than that. Really? Oh, it's his fault that he's ugly. He knows he should have been better looking than that. Right, ladies? Come on, ladies, isn't that right? Oh, no. I said that to the ladies. Well, who's rejecting him? If he's not gay, he's not out there trying to get a man, now is he? No. But say, now you want to know the real reason they done this act? Because this was an act. Here's the real reason. I'm going to tell you the real reason right now. Because they knew you were all gullible. They knew you'd fall for it. And this paints out a narrative for them. We can add that to the list of the other guys that are incels, like our actor Elliot Rodgers. See, Chris Morgan and Elliot Rodgers have something in common. They're actors. They do. They have something in common. They're actors. And they're acting in the same environment. This is going to help them with their new red flag mental health laws against the manosphere. Because you will be painted out as potentially dangerous to society. An angry, bitter man. But now let's just use our head now, okay? Let's use reality. Reality is, do you think Gary Coleman was a happy man? No. Do you think anybody that's living TFL or incel out of the hundreds of millions of men all over the world were happy about being rejected and pushed out of society and isolated for no reason at all? Other than things they had absolutely no say-so in? Born to short parents. Looks don't fit what your social engineering, your program told them to. Or stats, fame. You don't got enough of that. Okay, I mean, there's a whole list of things that's been social engineered. Sometimes it's not necessarily about the looks, but most of the time it is. How do you know when it's about looks? See, looks includes being short, okay? How do you know that? You can say, how would a man ever know it's about that? Because you've never met her in your life, and it's 1 to 5 seconds. She already knows wants anything to do with you ever. Ever. And if you pursue her because they say they're getting hard to get, you'll pursue the back of a squad car on your way to jail. Or some bad boy white knight to her rescue. Because we're in a competitive world. See, we're in a world that believes in lying is acceptable, but don't lie to me, which is psychopathic. Because when you're going to say it's okay to lie, but you don't want to be lied to, that means you're a nut job. No, that's no lie. That means you're a nut job. Okay? That's what that equals. Because you cannot have your cake and icing too. You're not going to say it's okay to lie on one hand, and on the other hand say, but don't lie to me. Without being a nut job. But that's our world. That's what we promote, isn't it? That's what we do, isn't it? Which means you've been programmed to be a complete nut job. Okay? So how are you going to know when this guy's not at fault? 1 to 5 seconds. 1 to 5 seconds. Oh, but he didn't know that woman and she has the right to be creeped out. Okay, so guys, so all of you people want to use that as your excuse. So how did anybody ever meet anybody in the entire world for all of history? Come on, how did you meet? Because to meet somebody you've never known in your life means you had to have a way to meet, right? Well, if this guy is trying to meet a woman and he's not good enough in 1 to 5 seconds to meet that woman, who would be at fault for that? Well, the woman would, of course, because she's the one doing the ew. But where did she get that from? Social engineering from the powers to be at the top. Yep, that's where she got that from. From her whole lifetime of all the aimless BS that's been fed into her brain. That she fell for. Because she knew having this knowledge she was fed made her smarter. Yeah, it made her smarter, all right. She walked hand in hand with the people that are destroying society, and she's helping them destroy society. She's not smart enough to figure that out because she has all of that knowledge. See how much knowledge she has? Just like you guys, you have all that knowledge. See how much knowledge you have? The end of that pinky, see that pinky moving around in there? See, this is evil as evil as evil and wrong as wrong gets. Because nobody keeps their looks. That's right. Your cover don't make you who you are. Because we've lost our ability for care. Because we don't want equal, we don't want even between people. Somebody always wants to be above somebody else. And nobody wants to be below somebody else. As everything is a sport, an arena, a game, a competition now, including other human beings' emotions and feelings, wants and needs that we all have. So they're denied a life, companionship, a mate, a partner. Oh, but don't worry, it has nothing to do with anything, right? What is the core of NWO? The dating arena. And I know a lot of you truthers and BS people are going to say, no, it isn't. Of course it is. Always has been. The dating arena has always been the core of NWO. Because that's where life is created from. That area, nowhere else. And why does Chris not be able to meet a woman? I mean, come on. Everybody that ever met anybody that got with somebody had to meet them one way or another. That's right. How would that little guy meet somebody? The same way anybody else does. But if your society's been engineered to look at somebody and decide what people don't deserve to be alive, to think with natural selection and the gene pool theory, which is eugenics, which is evil as hell, to think with lunacy psychopathic brains. See, you've only helped the psychopaths. That's all you've ever done. Chris Morgan, the 5 foot short man, bagel shop incident was as staged as phony as phony gets. First off, if it was a real bagel shop, which it probably is, the owner probably agreed to this filming and this act and was paid good money for allowing it to go down in his establishment. Probably controlled who came in that establishment that day and closed the doors to the rest of the public. Yeah, because he wouldn't want to lose his business in his bagel shop, you know. Because see, in real life, if a short man walks into a bagel shop, even if he's 4 foot tall, the people serving him are going to serve him like any other customer, even if it's a female that already looked at him in 2 seconds knew that, ew. Because if she didn't treat him like any other customer, she wouldn't have a job. And the owner of the bagel shop wouldn't be able to keep his business running. And there'd be a lawsuit. In real life, women, the majority of all women, won't treat the guy that way. Openly to their face. But when you come up on YouTube and you're on a video and you're hiding back of a video and you ain't even using a real name, most of y'all use avatars. Oh, you're big and brave and tough, then, ain't you? Yeah, in real life, people don't act the way you saw here. Yeah. What you saw with this Chris Morgan and Inside Edition and CNN that's all been staged. This is no accident. This is an attack on the manosphere. That's what this is. I've told you they're moving in on the manosphere for the last 6 months or more now. You can turn your back to what I've told you all you want. And watch the evidence pile up. And watch them come in and take your ass out. And I'm not going to come up and say I told you so. I'm going to watch you sorry suckers go, huh? That's what I'm going to do. As far as Chris Morgan, the Bagel Man goes, all bullshit. Every last bit of it. What can I say? I see the bullshit. This is an actor. And it's sad that God is money and you'll do anything like this for money. All this little man managed to do is help to lock down the manosphere. He's helping to lock them down because he's going to help that record of shit pile up that they can use as mental health laws to go after you people that they've deliberately pushed out in a society that they engineered for this to happen. So they've engineered for this stuff to happen, and then they inflate it with their actors. Yep. So that's what you got going on. Oh, by the way, I believe tomorrow is Thursday, 1 o'clock Eastern Time, 12 o'clock noon. Things work out. I'll be up on a live stream with Warren. Just so you know, okay? With that being said, I'm out of here. You have a good one.